What is on everybody's mind?
Coronavirus.
The coronavirus. It's on everybody's mind. Here's the figures as of yesterday. There are 266,073 confirmed cases of the coronavirus in the world, resulting in 11,184 deaths. And that's in 183 countries, territories, or areas. And most people that get this won't die. I mean, if you look at the confirmed cases and how many have died, not everybody dies. Most people will get a mild to moderate respiratory illness, and they'll recover without needing any special treatment. Now, all this is coming from the World Health Organization website. I'm not making this up, just so you know. But older people and those with underlying medical problems like cardiovascular disease, diabetes, like me, chronic respiratory disease, and cancer are more likely to develop serious illness. So what can you do? Well, stay aware of the latest on the outbreak. Take care of your health. What do? You wash your hands frequently. Why? Well, washing your hands with soap and water or using alcohol-based hand rub kills the viruses that may be on your hands. You know, we have some Purell or, store-brand Purell there at the back by the door. Why? Because we want to not spread the virus through our hands. Don't touch your face like I did. That's why I have to wash my hands thoroughly and frequently, because I cannot keep from touching my face. Maybe I need to wear gloves all the time. Don't touch your face.
But then when you're eating, hair will get on your food.
Well, if you touch your eyes or nose or mouth and the virus is on your hands, then it can go into your body and make you sick. Maybe I need a straitjacket. Maintain social distancing at least 3 feet from somebody that is coughing or sneezing. Because when someone sneezes, they spray the virus if it's communicated through droplets from their nose or mouth. And you could breathe in the droplets and get sick. That's why we're spread out. That's why Rex isn't in his normal spot. Because we're trying to do what's right and maintain social distancing. Now, of course, families, you're in the house together. You don't have to do the social distancing. But I think my oldest teenage daughter would prefer it if you remain 3 feet away from her at all times. Right? Or further away. Practice respiratory hygiene. When you sneeze or you cough, where should you sneeze or cough? Bended elbow, or use a tissue and then get rid of it right away. If you have a fever, cough, or difficulty breathing, stay at home because you don't want to spread it. But contact your doctor's office because they have the most up-to-date information on this virus. And allow your healthcare provider to take care of you and tell you what to do. But stay informed and follow the advice given by your healthcare provider, your national, your local health authority, or your employer on how to protect yourself because they have the most up-to-date information on the virus. At this time, there's no vaccines, no treatments for the virus. But they're trying. Those that have the virus, what are they supposed to do? Quarantine themselves.
I know what that is.
What is that?
Eating healthy.
No, quarantine means you stay in your house locked away from the world. Dun, dun, dun. But there was a disease, the closest disease I can think of that comes to this is in the Bible called leprosy. That's what leprosy can do to you. That's not all leprosy can do to you. It was a name given to a variety of diseases, and some were curable and some were not. In its worst form, it was a dreaded and dreadful disease. And it was disfiguring and fatal, and the ancient world's only defense against it was quarantine. If you had leprosy, you had to live alone outside the camp, wear torn clothes, keep your hair disheveled, cover your upper lip and cry, "Unclean, unclean!" So the people knew to stay away from you. They had no way of earning a living. They relied on the charity of other people. But the psychological effects of them were as serious as the physical, because people have a different attitude towards leprosy than they have any other diseases. And even the people that get the disease, they are ashamed of it, even though it's not their fault. Now, Paul Brand was a doctor who worked 50 years. He worked in the medical field 50 years, and his specialty was hand surgeon for people with leprosy, called Hansen's disease today. And this is an excerpt from the book Pain, the Gift That Nobody Wants, where he describes the darkest night of my entire life. Feeling very unwell and feverish, he realized that he could feel no sensation or touch whatsoever in the area around his heel, one of the disease's first symptoms. He had always checked himself carefully for skin patches, as leprosy workers were instructed to do. What followed him was a night full of despair, plagued by questions and anxieties. What would this do to my life, my work? I had gone to India in the belief that I would serve God by helping to relieve suffering. Should I now go underground as to not create a stir? I'd need to separate myself from my family, of course, since children are usually susceptible to infection. And I knew what to expect. My office was filled with diagrams showing how the disease would progress toward numbness. Ordinary pleasures would go away, like petting a dog, running your hand along fine silk, or holding a child. And soon all sensations would feel like death. That's what leprosy does to somebody.